Sean Penn with his lovely co-star, Dakota Fanning, and I am Sam. Please welcome Dakota Fanning to the Morning X. Dakota Fanning! I have had a crush on you for at least 1/7 of your life.
Thank you.
Look at that flashy jacket. You were looking Hollywood today. Now, your agent is here, too, and I want to say hi to Joy because that is where, the story of how she found you is amazing. About a year ago, now, Joy is also my agent. And she represents me for all the movies that I don't get.
Which is scary.
Yeah.
Well, see, Barnes ends up on the cutting room floor, and you end up with Sean Penn.
That's right. See, that's how it works. But when I go in there and all the movies that I don't get, I see your picture. And I kept saying, who is that? She is so cute. And Joy kept telling me about you. And that time you were 6. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you weren't 7 yet. You were still 6. Anyway, Joy Purvis from the Talent Group. How did you find her?
Well, it's a real interesting story. My kids' agency, Hot Shot Kids, I do open calls about twice a year, and I had an open call, I think it was around February, be 2 years ago, February. And I usually break down the open calls where I have the 4 to 6-year-olds come in at one particular time, the 7 to 9s, 10 to 12s, et cetera, et cetera. And she just happened to be late for her age category, which was the 4 to 6-year-olds. And so her mom came in and said, "Oh, I'm sorry we're late. And, is there any way you can see her? If you can't, that's okay." And I said, No, bring her in. She'll just have to go in with the older kids.
Sure.
So she came in with the 7 to 9-year-olds. And I was passing out commercial scripts to all the kids because I have to check out their reading
how they
skills
read, how
and
well
their
they
diction
can read,
and that type of thing. So I handed out everybody's script except for her. And she walked up to me and she said, "Excuse me, but can I have a commercial script too?" And I said, "Well, honey, this is just for the kids who can read." And she said, "Well, I can read." So I handed her the script just to make her feel good so she wouldn't be left out. And she grabbed the script out of my hand and began to read it. It was just so incredible.
Blew you away.
Oh, it blew me away. And I was like, oh my gosh. I looked at my assistant. I said, "Give me a script for a 10 to 12-year-old now." And she gave me a script. I handed it to her. I said, "Here, honey, read this." And she read it better than any 10 to 12-year-old I had ever read in my whole history of being an agent.
At that moment, you thought she has something very special.
I didn't think. I said
knew.
star. There was star written all over her face. Yeah.
And you were right.
Oh, yeah.
And then comes
incredible.
Dakota. So you're 7 now, right?
I'm 7, yes.
7 years old, going on 21.
Thank you.
Because you are amazing in that movie, and a lot of people haven't seen it yet. We got to see an early screening, and you were so good.
Thank you very much.
What was it like working with Sean Penn?
Well, he's such a great actor, and I'm so lucky that I got to work with one of the best actors in the history of the world at 7. And in California, there's an amusement park that's called the Pier, and it's in Santa Monica, and it's like actually on a pier.
Sure.
It's like right on the ocean. And he took me to the Ivy to get to know me.
Oh, Sean took you out.
Yes.
Date.
To the Ivy,
Yes.
no less.
Date
Nice
with
place.
Sean Penn.
Yes.
Now, what kind of questions did he ask you?
He's going to play, the daughter of Sean Penn. You got to go hang out with him.
Right. And people are stopping him, "Hi, Sean, great movie, The Pledge, fantastic movie." And then I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is so cool that I'm with Sean Penn at the Pier. And then he took me to the Pier. And at the Ivy, I'm not even sure if they have cheese pizza or if they'd even take it by the slice. So I asked the waiter when he comes up, "Well, what can I get for you?" I can't read. I could read the stuff on the menu, but it was all in Italian. So I couldn't read the Italian. So I said, well, I don't know. I said, "Can I have a slice of cheese pizza?" And they said, "Sure." And then they come back a minute later and said, "Do you want pizza sauce on that?" And I said, "Well, I'd like some if you have it." And then he come back with it, and it's chunks of tomatoes on there. So I guess that's what they call their pizza sauce.
Yeah, you got to watch those Italians. They'll try to sneak up on you like that.
So what did Sean Penn ask you at your little date?
Well, we just talked. I talked about his daughter and his son. We talked about my sister sometimes. We talk about everything.
So it was an easygoing conversation.
Mm-hmm.
On the set, was it fun hanging out with him? Did he when he got into his character, was it hard for you to communicate with him, or did he kind of seem like he was off in space?
He just seemed normal because I didn't have my dad out there at the time because he was in Georgia here. So I just treated him like my real dad.
Well, that's a way to get into the part, though.
Exactly.
Because you're playing his daughter. I mean, your list of credits are pretty impressive. You, Malcolm in the Middle, Spin City, The Practice, CSI, ER. You got the movie coming out, 24 Hours, of course. You play Abby, right?
Yes, I do.
With Courtney Love, Kevin Bacon. Who else is in that?
Stuart Townsend, Charlize Theron, and Pruitt Taylor Vance.
Charlize Theron's pretty, isn't she?
Oh, she's beautiful.
Where did you learn to act? I mean, you're 7 years old, and your list of credits is very impressive. These aren't just, run-of-the-mill shows on the Disney Channel. I mean, you're hitting home runs on these shows. Where did you learn to act?
Well, I've been acting pretty much all my life, just not in front of the camera.
All 7 years.
In front of her mirror in her bedroom, maybe.
Exactly. I go in my grandmother's room when we're over there and I look in the mirror and I act. I have this baby that feels like a real baby that's about 10 pounds that I carry around practically everywhere. I pretend that I'm a chef because I have this little Pottery Barn stove.
Mm-hmm.
And I sometimes I do this. I stick a blanket in my shirt and pretend I'm pregnant.
At 7.
I think every little girl does it. Now, let me ask you, I'm trying to get the timeline straight here. Now, when you went to the agency, for your interview with your mom, at that point, what kind of experience had you had?
Well, I had done 3 commercials.
Okay, so you hadn't done any of the television show
No,
stuff
I
yet.
hadn't. Yeah.
Wow.
I got all the television shows when I went to LA.
Now, you want to hear, here's a random 6 degrees of separation. She is the niece of Jill Arrington.
Jill Arrington, who played...
Was my star catcher from Celebrity
Celebrity Softball.
I had no idea that was your aunt.
Yeah.
What a small world.
Mm-hmm.
That is unbelievable. So were you living with her out in LA at some point? Did you guys stay with her?
The first few months we lived with her, and then we got an apartment. Then we moved out of that we moved out a long time ago, and then we just got a townhouse this August.
She's so proud of you.
Thank you.
I got an email from her, and she was talking about how to tell you hello because you were going to be on today.
Oh, yeah.
And she's very proud of you. You've done very well.
Thank you.
Are you living here now? Or are you living in LA?
We go back and forth.
So you live in Conyers, right?
Well, yes. I live with my grandmother right now because we're about to build ourselves a house.
I bet you are.
And then we went to LA, and then we stayed there. We were going to go out there for 6 weeks, and we crammed all the sites into 6 weeks. And then we stayed out. We're still there. And this was from last year.
We're talking to Dakota Fanning. The first time you saw yourself on screen in a major motion picture, what was that like?
I am looking at myself on this 15-foot screen, and I'm thinking, oh my God, that's me! I'm so freaked out
I bet.
that I am on a 15-foot screen. It was just amazing.
What auditions do you have out there right now? Because I saw one of your audition tapes a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really?
I did. Joy showed me a clip of you from Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel.
You auditioned for that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Have you heard back?
Well, I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
What?
Yeah, I did it a few months ago.
Congratulations.
What don't you get? Have you ever auditioned for a role and not got it?
Oh, yeah, many times.
Well, I don't know.
By the way, you've got this like rock star looking jacket on. Please explain that.
This jacket, I got at Fred Siegel. That's a
Oh
store.
my God, Fred Siegel in Los Angeles. One of my favorite stores.
Yes. Well, it's actually really funny. One time, I'm the young Ellen DeGeneres. And I do her show to go flashbacks.
Uh-huh.
And, well, one day there was a mix-up with the times, and it was a mix-up with the times, and we walk in, and there was a mix-up with times, so we weren't supposed to be there at that time, and then later she says, well, I'm glad that it was the mix-up, or I wouldn't have got to meet your coat.
It makes a statement.
Yeah.
So what are you going to film next? What's your next thing?
Well, I done 24 Hours in Hansel and Gretel. And
those are already in the can, though, aren't they, Dakota?
Yes, I've already done those. And I'm about to play Young Reese Witherspoon in January.
Oh, my.
I play it's Sweet Home Alabama.
You're playing a young Reese? You do look like a young Reese.
Barnes needs to talk to you off the air, by the way.
Young Reese, yeah, she's on my top 5 list. You tell her I said hello, please.
Okay.
She's gorgeous, too.
Now, do you have a tutor on the road that, goes with you and tutors you in the
she
trade?
goes with me.
Okay.
All my stuff. Yes, I do.
Well, Dakota, it was nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you.
People
Thank you
are-
so much for letting me be on your show.
No
You were
problem.
amazing
It's
in
our
I Am
pleasure.
Sam.
Thank
You were amazing in that movie. Congratulations.
And people are going to think back to this interview when they go see I Am Sam and go, that's who that is. You did a very good job. You should be very proud. And you're up for an award, aren't you? You got a Critics' Choice nomination?
Yes, I did. But I have saw Harry Potter 2 times, read all 4 of the books, and he is nominated too. I have the chance to meet Harry Potter. Daniel Radcliffe.
He's up in the
That's a
same
nice little
category
movie.
as you.
Yes.
He's like
And Haley Joel Osment.
and he's an older man. You can't think about that. He's older.
Yeah, Potter's a little too old.
He's 11, so.
I I love Haley Joel Osment and Daniel Radcliffe.
Well, the best of luck in your career, Dakota.
Thank you.
It's Dakota Fanning on the Morning X.